What is up, y'all? We're back with another Scream 7 video. Today we're going to be talking about some more possibilities with Scream 7. Starting off that we just got a cast member confirmed being McKenna Grace from a previous Ghostbuster franchise, and then we also got Celeste O'Connor from the previous Ghostbusters franchise. That is so crazy. I've never seen nothing like that. Also Asa German, and then we got Isabel May as Sidney Prescott's daughter. Now, pushing forward with this, I want to talk about why I think this is crazy. First off, like I said, once again, two people from the previous Ghostbusters franchise, and you know, they're like, you know, younger and things like that. Now, I love McKenna Grace. I talked about that in my previous video, being that McKenna Grace is a very talented actress. She really did so amazing in the previous Ghostbusters next to Celeste O'Connor. Now, one thing that's very interesting to me, because I talked about in my previous video that I think Celeste O'Connor can be an opening kill, but now that McKenna Grace is on, she's a big face, you know, similar to, you know, those open and kill faces like the Jenna Ortegas, Samara Weavings, but I can be wrong. And I hope they don't go that route with McKenna Grace being like the open and kill for Scream 7, just because I think she has a lot of potential to do a lot of things in Scream, being that she actually is a fan of the Scream movies. Like, she's invested in the franchise. So for her to be brought on board to be in a Scream movie, I'm pretty sure they gotta use her almost like a Sam Carpenter or something. But pushing forward, like I said, anything could happen. We gotta have that opening kill in Scream 7, and I feel like with this one, somehow it's going to surround Sidney Prescott's daughter. I think that's the whole thing with the plot that will happen. It's going to be something that happens with Sidney Prescott's daughter that pulls everything together, being that it almost seems like it has to happen like an opening kill with one of her friends has to be the opening to get Sidney Prescott involved and probably be overprotective with her daughter and not have her daughter, you know, being around for a while because of Ghostface being back in the area. Now, pushing forward, we have Asa German, we have Celeste O'Connor, we have McKenna Grace and Isabel May. That's 4. Now, I really do think they're trying to create a core 4 without saying it because of the disrespect with everything with Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooden and all those guys. I think that right in our face, we're seeing like basically Sam Carpenter and Tara be replaced. We're seeing these guys be replaced in our face, and they're bringing big names to kind of almost seem like they're trying to make us forget about the core 4 and the Carpenter sisters. McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connor, Isabel May alone, those are big names. So they're trying to bring big names in to kind of cover what happened with the original cast, I feel like. But I can be wrong, but pushing forward, either way, I'm excited because I love McKenna Grace. Big fan of the previous Ghostbusters franchise. And like I said, I think it's going to be something where they're all friends with Isabel May being Sidney Prescott's daughter. I still think that theory could happen that I talked about in my previous video, being that Isabel May is actually Mark Kincaid's daughter with another woman, and she's basically Sidney Prescott's stepdaughter, and maybe she can be Ghostface. I think that would be crazy, where she's basically like, you know, a Ghostface, but she just has to take out Sidney Prescott to get her family back together with her dad and her mom, almost like she's a jealous child. But I don't know, it could be something else where possibly one of these guys, McKenna Grace, Asa German, are connected to some type of bloodline in the history of the Scream franchise. Maybe someone's related to Stu Macher, anybody. I think it's going to be something like that too, where they pull the past in with the new generation, and it just kind of makes everything full circle. But like I said, I can see the opening being something where maybe Isabel May and her friends are at a party, someone has to walk home alone, something where I think we're not going to see them all together at a point. I don't think like through the film everyone's going to make it, if that makes sense. I can see, or maybe it's one of the guys, like maybe it's Asa German, maybe it's something where he gets took out because he's the guy and girls stick together. Either way, it's going to be something where Sidney Prescott's afraid for her daughter because one of her friend's daughters, you know, gets hurt. I don't think it's going to be something where Gail's the opening kill. I mean, maybe Mark Kincaid can be the opening kill. That will really be something that emotionally will hurt Scream fans. I feel like could you imagine Sidney Prescott being on the phone with Mark Kincaid and he says like he's on his way home or something and he gets took out, and that can also bring the story together, being that Isabel May and Sidney Prescott become close and they got to go up against Ghostface together like a mom and daughter duo. That will actually work, and then have her friends involved. But I can be wrong. But like I said, I'm loving the, you know, the cast reveals that they're having with the Scream franchise. I've never thought in my life that I'll see somebody like McKenna Grace be in a Scream movie. But Celestia O'Connor also is very slept on. I think she's going to be, you know, an actress that's going to excel in her, you know, role in Scream 7, especially next to someone she's been on set with before, being McKenna Grace. But something just telling me they're a friend group. Now, one thing I want to say with this is Ghostface in Scream 7, it has to be a different type of Ghostface. It cannot be the same Ghostface that we've been getting previously in previous films. I feel like this Ghostface has to put some type of fear in my heart. I have to be afraid for the cast members. I have to be afraid, you know, for Sidney Prescott. I feel like every time Ghostface is on scene, sometimes I feel like, oh, nothing's too bad is going to happen. He might take out this person, this person. No, everybody needs to feel like they're in danger in this Scream movie. We got Kevin Williamson on board. I think they should go back to the old days. I feel like in the old days, everything felt risky. Every character's move they made in those Scream movies, it felt risky. Like, don't do that. Don't go over there. Don't do this, because he can pop out of anywhere and he's taking you out immediately. I feel like from Scream 5 and Scream 6, those Ghostface just felt so weak to me, you know? Yeah, one took out Dewey, and it kind of felt disrespectful because I feel like they're saying that was Amber who took out Dewey, but why someone like Amber, you know, to take out someone so legendary like Dewey? But I don't want to talk about that because it can go into a rabbit hole. But pushing forward, I think the type of Ghostface I'm looking for in Scream 7 is a Jill. I think we need a female Ghostface that's off her fucking rocker like Jill. And I think it'll be so crazy. Like, could you imagine that, like, Sidney Prescott's stepdaughter's Ghostface, or maybe Sidney Prescott's daughter is getting used and manipulated, and just, you know, she's in a situation where she doesn't know what's going on, where to the point maybe McKenna Grace's Ghostface. I mean, she's very short, but I'm just saying, maybe one of her friends around her is like, yeah, Isabel, man, we're so best friends, we're this, that, and the other whole time. It's almost like they got involved to be closer to Isabel May, not for Isabel May, but to get to Sidney Prescott. Maybe it's something where they're actually going after Isabel, maybe because they know Sidney Prescott to get involved, or maybe her friends are just someone that's connected to some previous Ghostface, you know, bloodline, where maybe it can be someone like Stu Macher, it can be someone like Jill, you know, it can just be someone that has some bloodline involved. It can just be so many ties, you know. I just hope it's going to be something that makes sense. I think the point we're at in Scream 7, it should not be anything random. You know what I'm saying? Nothing should be random, or some fanned out person that throws on a mask and is like, hey, I'm Ghostface, I want to take out Sidney Prescott. No, this right here has a daughter involved, a family possibly. You know, we got Gail Weathers. I've done heard stuff, you know, with possibly Gail Weathers being the magnet to bring everybody together because of Ghostface is back. Maybe it's something like that. You know, she's healing, and maybe it's going to be like a possible time jump. I will say it's going to be a time jump, but I really do hope that, you know, it's not going to be something where they do like this, try to convince us. Remember Sidney Prescott had the stroller in Scream 5? I really don't think they're that bold to try to do a time jump and say that these kids are teenagers now. It can't be nothing like that. That's what makes me think about, you know, that thing of just her, that being her stepdaughter, because the kids that Sidney Prescott had was younger. You know, I mean, even if they're in elementary school, it's still kind of, I mean, it could work, but it all depends on how they write it out. But overall, I think McKenna Grace is a great pick to kind of revive it, because at first I felt like the Scream franchise, after that stuff that happened with the Carpenter sisters, it started to dip a little bit, but now it's kind of just going up. And it's crazy because I know that Spyglass knows that, like, if we get big names, it'll kind of cover up what happened and things like that. But that's no, you know, diss to McKenna Grace, Celestia O'Connor, and Asa German, and everyone else to be announced. I mean, they're just here to bring the franchise back to life. And I feel like I think personally McKenna Grace, her role has not been confirmed, but McKenna Grace should have been Sidney Prescott's daughter. Like, the features are there. Like, you can pull off a Sidney Prescott and McKenna Grace, you know, mother and daughter relationship. I think you could pull it off. I don't think Isabel May was the perfect, you know, pick for the daughter role, but I can be wrong. Overall, like I said, the ways that I just talked about, the possibilities of the plot, Scream 7, the details that can happen, is, you know, what we just talked about. So I want you to comment down below and tell me what you guys think will happen in Scream 7. How do you guys feel about McKenna Grace being recruited to the Scream 7 cast? Let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on all my social medias at I Like Scary. Watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. Peace.